Okay guys, we're going to continue on with our book, The Solar System. This is part 2 of that book. We're going to focus on Earth now. We already focused on the Sun, and then Mercury, and then Venus. And now we're going to talk about Earth, where we live. Earth, third rock from the Sun, that's us. And here we go. Do you know? Okay, as I said before, look for your text features. Make sure you're using those to help you understand what you're reading. Do you know? Earth's atmosphere is very thin. If Earth were an apple, the atmosphere would only be as thick as the apple's skin. Okay? A meteor entering Earth's atmosphere. So the atmosphere is like a layer around the outside of our Earth. It kind of keeps certain things in and protects us from other things. So meteors do enter our atmosphere, but often when they enter our atmosphere, they will disintegrate. They'll burn up and die once they enter our atmosphere. But our atmosphere is tiny and it's thin, but it is our protection. And so we have to make sure we keep our atmosphere as healthy as possible. Earth. Earth is a very special planet because it is our home, and also because it is the only planet in our solar system that can support life. Okay? It's the only planet naturally that could support life. The most important difference between Earth and the other planets is the presence of water. Okay? We have water. Water covers nearly 70% of Earth. Earth spins around approximately once every 24 hours, one day. So our planet Earth, it takes it 24 hours to rotate itself once. Unlike Venus and Mercury that take way longer to rotate. They have a very slow rotation. Ours only takes 24 hours, so that's what we count as one of our days. It completes one orbit of the Sun about every 365 days, or 1 year. Okay, so every 365 days, we make it around the Sun. But remembering, as we're going around the Sun, we are also rotating as a planet. Earth's atmosphere is made up of gases that living things need to stay alive. The atmosphere protects us from most of the Sun's harmful rays. It also helps protect us from meteors by causing them to burn up before reaching Earth's surface. Earth has one natural satellite, the moon. Okay? We have one moon. One moon that rotates around our Earth. Okay? All right, let's learn about our moon. Do you know? If you weigh 32 kilograms, 70 pounds on Earth, you weigh 5 kilograms, 12 pounds on the moon. So if you weigh 70 pounds on Earth, okay, so about the size of somebody in grade 4, 5, 6, I don't know, however much you weigh 12 pounds on the moon. 12 pounds is like a 3-month-old baby. Some babies are 12 pounds. Oh my. The moon. The moon is about 1/4 the size of Earth. So if we cut the Earth into 4 pieces, the moon is one of those pieces. 1/4, 1/4. The origin of the moon is unknown. We don't know where our moon came from, how it came to be. Most scientists believe that it came from Earth when Earth was hit by an enormous object from space. The gravitational pull of the moon causes Earth's ocean tides. Okay, so our moon affects our oceans. It causes a gravitational pull. It causes gravity to actually work either stronger or weaker based on where the moon is. And so it pulls the ocean currents or the ocean tides with it. So the moon does that. It also it causes the tides to come in, and it causes the tides to recede. The moon also does something where at night the moon reflects the light of the sun. And because of that, because of that tiny amount of light that the moon reflects from the sun at nighttime, it allows our Earth to continue to grow. If we didn't have the moon reflecting that light at night, our nights would become so cold that nothing could continue to grow and life would perish. So we need our moon. Mars, not a Mars bar, Mars the planet. Mars is the fourth planet from the sun, okay? It is known as the red planet because of large amounts of rust on its surface. Mars is the most Earth-like of all the planets of our solar system. Mars has seasons similar to our own, and the soil there is similar to the soil on Earth. So Mars is very close to Earth. It has seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. Its soil is similar to Earth, but there is very little oxygen or water vapor in Mars's atmosphere. So oxygen, we need oxygen to breathe. We breathe in oxygen. Without oxygen, we cannot survive. Mars doesn't have that because Mars does not have water vapor. And we get a lot of our oxygen from water vapor. The climate on Mars changes wildly between seasons. Temperatures on its surface can range from 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. Well, we get up to that in Manitoba here. We definitely get to those nice warm days of plus 30, plus 40. We have hot days, but we think we have cold winters to negative 130 degrees Celsius. Okay, just a couple days ago it was minus 50 here in Manitoba, and I couldn't remember ever it being minus 50 in Manitoba, and we are a cold climate in the winter. But minus 130, that's ridiculous. Or negative minus 100 or 202 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter. So the extreme cold of Mars makes it absolutely, nobody could live there, okay? Not naturally. I know scientists are trying to figure things out, but it would have to be something that is man-made that we would be able to produce to be able to live there. Do you know, if you weigh 32 kilograms, 70 pounds on Earth, you weigh 12 kilograms, 27 pounds on Mars. So you're about the weight of a 1-year-old. A panorama, oh my, a panorama of the Martian surface. Oh, that's where the word Martian, sometimes we use the word Martian to mean aliens or creatures from outer space. It means you come from Mars. You're a Martian, like we're Canadian. Okay, that's where the word comes from, Martian, coming from Mars. Mars often has winds that blow up to 200 kilometers per hour, 120 miles per hour. These winds cause great dust storms that color the planet's atmosphere pink. Okay, remember Mars is the red planet. So it has all this rust on its surface. So when it's blowing these huge storms, the surface looks pink. There are ice caps on both poles of Mars. So on each end, you know, on Earth we have the North Pole and then we have the South Pole. Same thing in Mars. But they have ice caps on both of those. So do we, North Pole and South Pole, okay? The northern one is made up mostly of ice that never melts, while the southern pole is made of carbon dioxide, which melts during the Martian summer. Mars has 2 small moons, Phobos and Deimos. A year on Mars is almost as long as 2 Earth years. A day on Mars lasts only 30 minutes longer than a day on Earth. Jupiter. Do you know if you weigh 32 kilograms, 70 pounds on Earth, you weigh 75 kilograms, 165 pounds on Jupiter? So the force of gravity on Jupiter is a lot stronger than it is on Earth. So it would make you heavier. It's pushing you down more. The whole force is pushing on you, causing you and everything else around you to weigh more. Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. So it's the biggest one. Jupiter is huge, okay? It is like a star in many ways because it's made up mostly of gas clouds and produces its own heat. The clouds of Jupiter form bands that have very high winds and are always very stormy. Scientists believe one storm is like a huge hurricane. It is called the Great Red Spot. This storm is about 3 times the size of Earth. So it's a storm that's constantly going on Jupiter, and it's 3 times the size of Earth. And if you look at this picture right here, this is a picture of the Great Red Spot. It's crazy. This storm is about 3 times the size of Earth. Jupiter's temperature is very cold at the tops of the clouds. Beneath the upper layer of clouds, it's much hotter. So it has varying temperatures. In some ways, Jupiter is like a mini solar system. So it's like its own little solar system because it is so big and has 16 moons and several thin rings around it. Scientists believe that if Jupiter had become larger during its development, it could have become a star instead of a planet. Jupiter spins quite fast for such a large planet. One day on Jupiter is roughly 10 hours. It takes Jupiter almost 12 Earth years to complete its orbit around the sun. I remember when I was a kid and I watched Star Wars, and there's this scene where Luke is looking out over the horizon and there was 2 moons, and I thought, this is ridiculous. Well, no, because Jupiter has 16. Okay, that's part 2. We'll continue on with part 3.